R.I. Presents.
Sea People Mountain People, Chapter 1. Previous overview. After the earthquake, Ryoji took a day off from his shop to visit the place where he witnessed the tsunami. However, without finding any trace of the tsunami, he came to Tomakomai Port. Ryoji lit a cigarette and muttered, "Hakodate," and he puffed on his cigarette for a while, thinking about what he was going to do. After gazing at the sea for a while, it occurred to him that it would not be a bad idea to visit Kushiro and the Shiratoko Peninsula, which he had been interested in before. The time was still before noon, so he thought he should be able to get to Kushiro before dark. So he immediately thought of the route. Hokkaido is divided into east and west by the Hidaka Mountains, so there are only two routes to the east. There are two routes to Kushiro, from the Duu Expressway via the Dutu Expressway, and a coastal route via Cape Aramo. Neither route is complicated, but the route that is likely to be reached without hesitation is via the Duu Expressway. However, a fee is required for high-speed use. For Ryoji, who lives part-time, high-speed tolls are a waste. The choice was one choice. He convinced himself that the scenery along the sea was good and that he could drive without getting bored, and he started traveling by car. Relying on road signs, he headed toward Cape Aramo, and an idyllic landscape of the Pacific Ocean appeared on his right, and fields and ranches appeared on his left. As he drove along the road to higher ground, he had a wide view of the Pacific Ocean. Its horizon is an eye-opening grandeur. He realized that he loved the sea after all. After driving for a while, a sign showing the direction to Cape Aramo appeared, and when he saw a parking lot on the right, he went inside without hesitation and parked the car. Let's take a look a little bit. I've come all the way, so I should see the scenery, he said to himself as he walked towards the headland. Before he went to the tip of the cape, he turned to the right and looked at the cliff from there, which was a very nice sight, similar to the local sea. And the sight he saw from the tip of the cape was even more majestic than the view he had seen from the inside of the car earlier, and he was fascinated. On the surface of the sea, there are many traces of ships passing through, white clouds, blue of the sky and sea, blending together, everything is perfectly arranged. He had the urge to go to the tip of the cape and see the key up close, but he has to get to Kushiro before it gets dark, so he doesn't have much time. He wanted to see a little more after enjoying the scenery for a few minutes, but reluctantly returned to the car, exited the parking lot, and turned the steering wheel toward Kushiro. He arrived in Kushiro 2 hours later, and it was already getting dark when he arrived in Kushiro City, so he first looked for an inn. Searching around Kushiro City, he found a slightly older inn. The sign states that it is 4,500 yen a day without meals. He thought it would be better to have a lower cost of accommodation, so he asked the receptionist if there was a room and if there was a parking lot, and he was relieved when her replied that both were okay. He parked his car in the parking lot behind the inn with the guidance of an employee, paid the fee at the reception, and was guided to his room by a person who meant to be the innkeeper. Today's story ends. I'll update tomorrow next time. Please look forward to. Please subscribe to the channel. See you again.